I'm just so proud of Azan for just the way that he thinks of something and that he will execute it.
A lot of people who we so-called voting for saying they're coming to help us and things like that, I don't think they're doing nothing. But you know, we need to do things like that. We can't just think about ourselves.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, having a purpose that's greater than self.
We back with another one, y'all. We back with another one. We got a special one in the building today, a legend, the myth, of course. You know what I'm saying? A special dude, man. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. If y'all don't know him yet, go look him up, man, because he's hot, he's popping, man. It's going down.
Peace.
Let my guy introduce himself.
So I'm Mathematics, otherwise known as Motivated by Mathematics, on all social media platforms and motivatedbymathematics.com. If you're looking for any information about me on a website.
That's what's up, man. That's what it is. How you got that name, first of all, man?
So Mathematics is not a name. A name really doesn't have, a name is just a name. So my slave name is my slave name on my government. And then I started building with the Nation of Gods and Earths in 1997. Wow. And so it's my attribute. So an attribute has a name, but it also gives a manifestation to the name. Wow. And so mathematics is basically, you know, what I'm supposed to uplift. Everything revolves around mathematics. Mathematics is everything, and then I am mathematics as well. So mathematics, for every problem there's a solution, and I'm a problem child. So if I add if I add the mathematics and it doesn't add up right, that means I need to subtract. And if there's something I needed to subtract, and I need to add it up, or I can apply multiplication, division. But I use the 36 keys. It's the 10 mathematics to go from knowledge to cipher, and then the 26 letters of the alphabet, and that's the 36 keys to the 120 of life.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was deep. I'm gonna definitely have to come back through.
Yeah.
Check that out. That was amazing, bro. Like I said, I'm gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, go through my footage, reverse it, and really break it down. It's kind of like
I know you
like
can
a rap
slice,
flow, bro. Like
yeah.
a rap, you know what I'm saying? Because I see you out there, you doing your thing with the rap too, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How long you been rapping?
So I don't really consider myself a rapper. I consider myself a creator. So I'm a poet, and then I'm a creator. And my cadence is a little bit off, so I don't really consider it rap. I more consider it me being a creator. And it's just a way it bridges the gap for when I go into the schools with the youth. You know, I'm a triple OG now, so when they see the videos and the rap, plus it's a way to form community and unity, because first you have to come up with a concept, then you have to dialogue with the person. And what I'm trying to do is be the DJ Khaled of positive music, pull people away from talking about the guns, the money, the hoes, the clothes, the N-word and all that stuff, and give people an outlet where, like, if you just want to talk about being yourself, if you just want to talk about your trauma, if you want to talk about like different stuff that you went through, I'll give you a platform where you can come and express that. And if you got to say some stuff that's like from the streets to get your story across, that's cool, but we're going to do our best to keep it clean, like away from the swearing and the N-word, because there's over 600,000 words in the English dictionary, and why you would want to call yourself the one word that was used to enslave us is beyond me.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Of course. Of course, man. I see what's up, man. I totally agree, man.
Yeah.
That's amazing, bro. That's amazing. So you was born and raised in Boston?
Nah. So I was born and raised in Cambridge. Okay. But I've been hanging out in the Bean since like 15 or 16. Okay. And then so I've been living in the Bean now ever since I came home from prison. And I want to say, was that like, I came home in like 93. So I've been between the Bean. I lived in the Bridge maybe a couple of more times, had a girl or whatever. But I've been pretty much the Bean programs. So my addiction caused me to be in a lot of treatment centers, a lot of different programs. And then I did 15 winters and 14 summers upstate too. Yep. So between incarceration.
You said 14 summers?
Yeah. So some people say 15 years.
Yeah, right.
But I'll say 15 winters and 14 summers, which means
I
didn't do another summer, but I did 15 winters, and then I only did 14 summers because I came home during the winter.
Yeah, that's tough, man. That's tough.
Yeah,
man.
so it's just a different way to say, because it catches you. You're like, what's he mean 15 winters and 14 summers? So it's just a different way to say. Basically, I did the life bit on the installment plan.
Word.
You know what I mean? Yep. That's kind of what addiction does to you. You keep committing all these crimes. In the beginning, it might be serious crimes, but then in the end, it basically turns into petty crimes. And all you're doing is a life bid on the installment plan.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely, bro. Definitely. Yep. So you said addiction. How did you get into you know, that sort of addiction? 'Cause we all got addictions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But how did you get into your addictions? Like what you know?
I mean, I know that 70% of kids that grow up without a father get incarcerated, and 85% of the youth that grow up without a father get into addiction. So my mother had a boyfriend that tried to be there as much as he could, but he just wasn't really mentally, emotionally, spiritually available. It was kind of like one of them things like, I'm with your mom, so I'm gonna deal with you. So the connection really wasn't there. And I don't really remember him trying to show me a lot about like manhood and different things that I needed to do. He did his best though, you know what I'm saying? Now that I've been a father and I've been older, he did his best, especially did his best with a child. Shout out to all the stepfathers that step up and help out, sometimes more than the fathers. But so I just, you know, I grew up a product of like having daddy issues and having that void, you know, looking for daddy's approval and he wasn't there. So when, you know, then I was in that beginning era of like NWA, the street rap that was coming out and kind of putting out, but there was a lot more positive. Like we had De La Soul, we had the Jungle Brothers, we had Brand Nubian, we had King Son, we had, you know, there was a whole lot of, you know, what was it, Self-Destruction, Queen Latifah, KRS, man. Like we had a lot of also, so I was a little bit confused, but I got this allergy, man, that's that I process drugs and alcohol different than other people. And so even though I pretty much got a good upbringing, I did see people smoking weed. I did see people drinking growing up. I saw people smoking cigarettes. You know, I found things of cocaine and stuff when I was younger. So I was exposed to it. And then, you know, sometimes when you're seeing that as an adult growing up, you say to yourself, well, I can try it too. And some people can just smoke a little weed and keep it cool. I'm not one of those people. I have this allergy, man, that once I put something into my body craves more. And I go, you know, I got an addictive personality, not with just drugs and alcohol, but with anything that makes me feel good. It could be scratch tickets, woman, gambling, clothes, Amazon shopping. You know what I mean? You name it.
So you just keep things real strict, you know what I'm saying? Have a, you know what I'm saying, strict circle around you, things like that. So, you know, certain things like you got, you know, those boundaries, you got to know what you can mess with and what you can't mess with. You know what I mean? So from Boston to Cambridge, I know back in those days, it was a lot of like friction and different things. Not so much today. It's like people are unifying more today, but back in the days, how did that make you feel, man? Being able to navigate both sides.
So it was nice because I've been able to go to any different set in Boston, and because I didn't grow up repping a street sign or repping a project, I'm welcome everywhere. But
that's important to hear, man. Y'all hear that? Especially for young people out there.
So I was able to navigate and go into spaces and places that other people couldn't go. And I've been really getting money. Even though I was an addict, I still was getting money my whole life. And so, you know, I was just able to do different things. But being from the bridge, you hear Lane Bridge and this, you feel like you're always trying to prove yourself.
Of course, right.
But the average person don't even feel as though that I'm from the bridge, because you know, Cambridge dudes, we got a high level of education with a Boston and Brooklyn swag. So that makes us a little bit dangerous where we're educated, but we also have the swag of the Bean, or I like to say a New York swag all in one.
That's dope. That's dope.
It's like, you know, I can navigate in spaces and talk like Obama, but then I can also navigate spaces and come in there and talk like, you know, I'm from the streets.
Of
you know
course,
what I'm saying?
man. Yeah, definitely, man. You gotta be able to switch it up, man, to be able to survive and, you know, get to where you need to be, man. Yeah, definitely. So racism, bro, like, did you deal with that in Cambridge in the early years, and was it different from Cambridge to Boston in dealing with that type of?
So racism really didn't exist in the bridge because it's a melting pot. So you got people
even back then.
Well, you got the universities, you got MIT, you got Harvard, you got some of the dormitories for BU. So when you got all these different people, teachers from all over the world coming to teach there, students from all over the country coming to be unified there. Then you have like all the different people that come there to work and stuff like that. So it was a melting pot. So when I was growing up and I went to school, there was Chinese, Haitian, Japanese, Spanish, Puerto Ricans, blacks, and we just all kind of like navigated together. And so I didn't really experience racism until I was 18, and I got to I went to Walpole and I went down to Concord, and a white dude asked the CEO to do something. Two white dudes from Charlestown, and they were told go ahead, and then I asked to do something, and I was told nah, movement's over. And that's when I realized that's the first time I experienced racism, where I said, okay, so the white CEO is gonna let the two white boys go, but then because I'm black, he's gonna sit there and tell me that, you know, that I can't go. So, you know, that's really the first time I experienced that. And then ever since then, you know, if I'm riding around with 2 or 3 of my boys in the car, if we got hoodies and hats on, I'm gonna be more liable to get pulled over. You know, there's a lot of racism that goes on, but I think that it's getting better. You know what I'm saying? Like anything else, is definitely getting better.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. You got a good outlook on things. A lot of people don't have a good outlook.
Yeah.
They don't think things are getting better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, every morning when you wake up, I can either look at the world as an obligation or I can look at it as an opportunity. So it's all in the way you ground yourself in the morning. So I have to ground. I know that the last 2 letters in blame spell me. The last 2 letters in shame spell me. And if I flip the letters around, the last 2 letters in problem spell me. So I can say everybody's to blame and I can say everybody else is a problem. And then when you look at the last 2 letters in game, it spells me. And I've been running game all my life. But at the end of the day, I'm in them institutions, just me. When I was overdosing and had that catheter in and I'm in the hospital, it's just me. And when I'm in that jail cell, it's just me. So we can run all the game we want and feel as though that we're getting over, but when we suffer the consequences, it's always just me. And then I bring my family along with me, you know, on the mental and the emotional tip.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Y'all hear that for people out there that's doing things out there? You run in the streets, remember your family's gonna be the ones
Yeah, they pay the price.
We're paying the price, man, you know? That's dope, man. That's dope, man. That's a gift that we sharing with y'all. A gem. A gem. Yeah, so what does trauma mean to you, brother? Like, I know, man, you know, where we from and things we've been through, man, it means a whole lot of things. But what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think about trauma?
I like to use the word trauma as an acronym. Thoughts that have come up in my mind or different things that were said to me. Resentment, which means different things that might have happened to me in my past that involved anger. And then thoughts, resentments, anger, and then anger, you know what I mean, is basically what things that I might be angry about and I don't know how to process that anger. And then I like to also say unpleasant memories activating anxiety. So thoughts, resentments, and unpleasant memories activating anxiety to me is trauma. And everybody's gone through some type of form of trauma. I think what happens in the black community is that we use drugs and alcohol and violence to deal with our trauma. And then in other communities where they're educated and they're in school systems that do like emotional check-ins, and there's more case managers and there's more social workers and there's more groups that like address feelings and stuff. Because like we were, you know, I was talking to the brother before we started. There's a lot of trauma and brothers and sisters just don't know how to express it. We don't know about journaling. We don't know about aromatherapy. We don't know about meditation. We don't know about like drawing and using poetry and rap as a therapeutic modality to express ourselves, or writing, you know, a gratitude list on a daily basis. You know, there's all these different things that can keep you grounded. And so that's why I like to use my platform to show like brothers that it's cool. And like, you know, I got hardcore gang members that I looked up to my whole life that are seeing what I'm doing on social media, and they're hitting me up now like, Math, I need to chill with you because I'm going crazy. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
You know, and so good. That's stuff that a lot of times people are getting reps in the street for something that they did 30 years ago. We're still praising this person. They ain't did nothing in 30 years, right? And we're still giving them all this credit for something that you did 30 years ago. Like you knocked out someone in the gym in Walpole 30 years ago. And we're still giving you, but ain't gave nothing to their kids, to their community.
Why don't we value? Why don't we have no value though, man? Like that's all value, man. We value things that really don't give us anything in the future, that don't give us no like a safety net. Like, you know, the violence, the drugs, everything that's going on is like, it has a window of time where it's like, you're gonna get into some stuff where you might not have your life. You might go to jail. Like people around you might be hurt. You know what I'm saying? So it's like why don't we see? You know what I'm saying? That there's other things out there? How do brothers like you? How did you figure that you can flip it? How did you go through what you know what I'm saying? Because obviously, like, we go through some rough trials and tribulations, but to flip and be like, I don't have to worry about the police no more. I don't have to worry about drugs no more. I don't have to. What flipped it for you? Was it family? Was it going to prison? Was it?
Yeah, prison. I got this rap that's coming out. Prison saved me. Drugs slayed me. Baby mamas played me. So prison saved me. You know, prison.
Yeah, I seen that one.
The song's coming out soon.
Okay.
Prison.
I think I heard it. I seen it.
Yeah. It's in a couple of my. I have it playing in the background.
Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
To be honest with you, a lot of people don't like prison, but like prison saved my life, and they got this thing in there. It's called the CRA program. I think it's the Correctional Recovery Academy. And
was it in prison, right?
Yeah. And a lot of times you have to do that to get good time and stuff like that.
Right.
My first 3 state bids, I always denied doing the CRA because I wanted to lift weights, have girls come up, you know, play cards, play poker, play whist for money, run the book, sell pictures, and, you know, whatever it was that I was doing that was on the sneaking in cigarettes and presenting as the man and all this stuff. So it was like, and then I finally did the CRA program, and we had to like present as a group in front of each other, and there might be 60 or 70 of us in the group. And that's when I started to realize that like I had a gift. Plus, like, I overdosed 7 times, and I had a moment of clarity once I got sentenced that I almost lost my life. One time I was dead for like almost 2 minutes.
In prison?
Yeah, well, no, on the street.
Wow.
But after I got sentenced, after that happened, and I had a moment of clarity, that's when I said, wow, man, I almost lost my life to this thing. I got to do something different. So I'm a habitual criminal now, which means that, like, if I get caught doing something, not only do I fight that case, I also have to fight the habitual. So I had an added case. It was like 3 grams of dope and 1 gram of crack, and they wanted to give me a 10 to 12 for that. And I was just like, yo, a 10 to 12 at almost 48, that's a screamer for me.
Yeah.
So I had a moment of awakening, man, and it was just like, yo, I gotta do something different. And I've always had the gift to gab. I've always been able to write. I've always been original and authentic as far as like the way that I dress and the way I carry myself and my look. But I always was, it's easier to fit in than it is to put in the work to stand out. So I'm willing to put in the work in the streets, to work for the drugs. I'm willing to put in the work to carry a facade in the prison. But I was never willing to put in the work to be the best version of me, which is G.O.D. You know what I'm saying? Not in the totality, but every day I'm supposed to manifest, you know, an expression of G.O.D. You know what I'm saying? It's like Allah is the ocean. I'm a cup from the ocean. So the same power that's in that ocean is also in me. You know what I'm saying? But I got to let it shine through. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, like I tell brothers, you know, if I can be nigga, then why can't I be God? You know what I'm saying? If my grandmother can call me a devil, there's 2 sides to everything. If I can be the devil, why can't I be God? You know what I'm saying? So when you see, it says in the Bible, God's image and likeness. So when you see me presenting like this, you're seeing God's image and likeness. When you see me presenting knowledge, that's God's image and likeness. When you see me presenting compassion and love and understanding and kindness and boom, 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 because I'm born with a spirit, but I'm taught religion. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so I just realized that it was like I had a chance. That the brothers from the Nation of Gods and Earth had me present in the building with the newborns in 1997 in Norfolk, and I had something then. But I came home and I allowed like the outside obscenities to get the best of me because I didn't have the discipline to stay focused and grounded. I'm real spiritual, real grounded, real disciplined, real militant behind the wall. But then every time I would get released, I couldn't maintain that discipline, and I'd fall victim to the same stuff that just put me in. And that's why, you know, 70% of the brothers and sisters that come home are back within 3 years because we don't know how to stay grounded in our program. You got brothers and sisters that are gangsters on the street can go to prison, do 6 or 7 years without getting a ticket. And then the day that they get out, will come home and do the same exact thing that we were doing that got us back there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I've seen people come in 24 hours,
yeah,
48, 1 week, 2 weeks, they're right back. And I'm like,
yeah.
And they want some of their canteen back or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.